Speaker, and can I thank the Secretary of State for his heartfelt apology. This is a most heartbreaking affair. It cuts right to the quick of a divided city, a divided country, a divided people. And as a Protestant man, as a Unionist, as a loyalist, I stretch out my hand of love, of forbearance, of common grief and compassion to my neighbour who has suffered. And I say to them that their tears and the sting of their tears is the same as the sting of our tears. There's no difference in colour or feeling of that grief. And we share that grief with them today in a heartfelt and compassionate way. And I hope that they accept the sincerity of those remarks and those feelings that are across our country. This verdict does lift Denning like the curtain on the appalling vista of what has happened in Northern Ireland. And no doubt more and more and more will follow. And it is not something which we look forward to, but know that more will come. But could I ask the Secretary of State that he is correct when he says that the pitch has been somewhat queered by the release of terrorists from our jails, by the release of on the runs, by letters of comfort to those on the runs, because their victims will never see any justice ever in our country. And therefore we cannot have a scapegoating of our soldiers, of our police officers, a perverse exhibiting and rewriting an Alice in Wonderland-like way of what happened in Northern Ireland, where the peacekeepers become accused of being the peace breakers. This is a most difficult and tragic situation, and all we can say is we have to wish the Secretary of State well in what he does now.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. And I thank the honourable gentleman for his comments, which I know will be genuine and hopefully well received across Northern Ireland in terms of the need for people to come together. It is right that this week, at this moment in time, we are focused on the pain and the loss and the suffering that the families and the victims of Ballymurphy have experienced for far, far too long, as I have said. He's also right, as I said earlier on, that we must also remember that there were more than 3,500 people killed and tens of thousands of people injured, with families affected across Northern Ireland and beyond, and the majority of whom were innocent civilians, and that the majority, by far the majority of our armed forces acted with honour and with focus. And this just highlights what a tragic period in the history of this country the Troubles were, and why it is so important that we work together, recognising some of the very difficult, painful compromises that have been made over the last few decades to deliver the Good Friday Agreement, to deliver the peace and prosperity that Northern Ireland has seen since. That should be treasured and something we need to build upon and deliver upon in the future as well.